Hi friends, today we are going to go over how to do the couching stitch in a circle. So we will start and end in a complete, even, perfect circle. So grab some needle and thread and some yarn to couch with. I'm using all 6 strands of DMC embroidery floss, 1 strand of bulky weight yarn, and I've pre-drawn a circle on. So I started with a stay stitch and we're going to follow this circle here, and after our first stitch we will leave a 1-inch tail. So I tend to stitch the first stitch high and then tug it into place like that and then retighten. And then once we've done that and we have our little tail, we are going to tack down the yarn with small, even stitches. I have another video on how to do the couching stitch that covers this part in more detail, and I'll link it for you here in one of those little cards. So we're just going to go all the way around the circle in even stitches. For this weight yarn, I would do about a finger width apart. Maybe a little closer to get the circle more even, but that's about the right distance there. Now that we've finished our circle out and are nearing the end where the ends will touch again, we are going to overlap the tails and it will make an X, and it should be right on that line that we traced on. And then we will stitch over that intersection, that X, twice to secure those tails down so that way they don't pull out. So we'll create 2 tight stitches very close together to really secure that overlapping section. Now that we've sewn those 2 initial stitches, we are going to trim the tails of the yarn as close to those first 2 stitches as possible without snipping the stitches. So if you pull that tail taut and then shimmy your scissors in next to those stitches, that'll give you a nice clean cut. After we've done that, we are going to stitch over the cut tails a few more times to hide them. So that will create a little section with a bit of what is considered a satin stitch, so a bunch of stitches close together basically, on top of a couching stitch, and that will hide your tails underneath that little section of close together stitching, giving you an even, seamless circle with a little bit of visual interest. After that, we'll weave the ends in underneath that section of close together stitching to secure the tail, and then we will trim the tail of the thread, and we are done. This is my preferred technique for couching in a complete circle. I like the extra visual interest of that section of satin stitching over top of the couching stitch to hide those tails. And that is what we use in the Stitch with Amy kits as well, which you can find linked in the description. And if this was helpful, I hope that you will like and subscribe. Thank you!